Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC review, and in this DC review I'll be covering issue 5 of City Boy and issue 1 of J. Garrick, The Flash. I'll now get things organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So, moving into first things first. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? It does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to have a look at the internal art around the beginning, middle and the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we have Cameron Kim waking up from a bit of a flashback of when he was living in Metropolis with his mother, and of course in the process he sort of like questions some of his things and things that he's gone through, and we start to see him thinking about what's happening with the stuff in relation to Apocalypse and Darkseid. As we slowly draw closer towards the middle, he finally encounters Swamp Thing, who also helps him realize that this location that he is in also in a way sort of has a bit of a connection to the city, and you do see some buildings and such, or some old buildings and such. So in the process, we have Swamp Thing basically inviting Cameron into the realm to which he can see, and he gives him a bit of a deeper understanding as to sort of like, or I guess in a way help him understand his powers, but also in the process understand how Swamp Thing's powers work, or is able to work, which I thought was really clever. And as we start to move towards the end, he realizes, yes, that this place used to have buildings and such in the area, and now he's working on leaving, but Swamp Thing was attempting to stop him because he wanted to give him some more words just to help him out. For the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the area of the story. So first things first, time-wise, how does it address things time-wise? First, we have 20 years ago, so we know that he's a little over 20. So if I would have guessed, probably about 25, 26, 27. So moving into his early 30s. And we have the present, which is addressed as now. The locations that that are referenced in this are Metropolis and also 7 miles from Bloodhaven, so just a little bit outside of Bloodhaven. The key cast of characters that take place in this story are Cameron Kim himself and also Swamp Thing. For the overall story rating in this, I must admit I really did enjoy this second last issue, and I really hope this story concludes on a big bang. And if I were to say one thing, I recommend this probably a little bit more than the Spirit World one, though the Spirit World one has a little bit more areas to which it needs to correct things in. So now it's time to move into the next thing that I also enjoyed, and that is J. Garrick, The Flash. So, as we begin the review for this, in the area of the cover rating, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. It's now time to move into the area of the internal art, which we'll have a look around the beginning, middle and of course the end, and also some of the things that are happening with the characters. So as the story begins, we are brought into a bit of a flashback with J. Garrick and his daughter Judy. And we see that they are after one of the villains in this particular story, who we learn is called Dr. Elemental. But before they do that, they have a dam to save, because if they don't stop this dam from being destroyed, many people are going to be losing their lives, and if not, houses. So very clever. I really like that for the beginning of the story, and it shows what little risks and tasks that they get out of their way of in the story. As we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we have Judy Garrick trying to, I guess, get her bearings on where she is and how she came to be in her particular situation. Once was a lost child, now saved. Care of Stargirl and what happened in that. Stargirl and the Lost Children. I definitely recommend it, and I also recommend that you pick it up, because I really enjoyed it. So as we start to move towards the end, Dr. Elemental does something in regards to affecting the timeline to which Joan and Jay Garrick lose their daughter once again, care of Dr. Elemental, and it'll be very interesting to see how Jay Garrick will get his daughter back. So, seeing that this is called Jay Garrick the Flash, I'd imagine the next issue will center a little bit more on him and how things will be restored in the timeline with him and his family. So, for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story. First things first, I got to point out there were actually there was a comic reference put into this, and thank you so much. Great job to the editors, along with the writer and everyone else who played a part in this first issue, because it's already going to play a part immediately on the scoring of the first issue, and that is in regards to Stargirl and the Lost Children. Next is the area of time, to which we have 1963, to which we are introduced to Jay Garrick and Judy Garrick, and also Joan and what's happening there. We then move to present day as to sort of like how a period of time's gone by and what's happening with the family in the present after getting their daughter back. And then we move into a later and a then being used, so we do learn a little bit more as to how the Garrick family have lost their daughter, and will they lose her again. The location in which this takes place is in Keystone City. Great job. The cast of characters consisting of Jay Garrick the Flash, Judy Garrick the Boom, Joan Garrick, and last but not least, the key villain in this story run is Dr. Elemental. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.